I'm now on the And Beyond stand with Kevin Pretorius. Kevin, I wonder if I can start by congratulating you for the pre-show publicity that you managed to generate. I was looking at my Times last week, yes, and their editorial, Prince Charles and Camilla in Land Rover with And Beyond signage right across the door. Tell me, how did that happen and why was it happening?
Well, that's right. The Prince is a patron, WWF, and we have a long-standing relationship with WWF at Pedigree Game Reserve. We're one of their partners in the Black Rhino range expansion program, and I'm not sure most of you know, there's a real severe threat facing rhino in Africa, particularly South Africa at the moment. Probably a rhino a day that's been poached. The Prince is obviously concerned about this, and he wanted to come in and visit and see the kind of work that's been done to safeguard the species. And I think there's a great focus of his is on how companies are involving the communities to safeguard. And Pindar, for him, he identified that as a good site to come and learn a little bit more about what's happening on the ground.
And your company actually employs staff to prevent rhinos from being attacked. Yes,
it was quite funny. I mean, the day there, obviously his time was quite short, and we really wanted to show him a black rhino, and we had our two guys that are on the ground that follow these animals every day and found a beautiful cow and her calf in a mud wallow. And unfortunately, the press vehicle came along, and the animal startled the animal a little bit just before His Highness arrived. So he didn't quite get to see something in the end, but I think the photographers got some good pictures.
Excellent. Now, I do know a little bit about And Beyond because I came to your stand last year. Yeah. But for many of our viewers, they won't be that familiar with you. Just describe your business model, your sort of company ethos, if you would, please.
Yeah, I mean, our company celebrates its 20th anniversary this year. It was founded on the premise of care of the land, care of the wildlife, care of the people. That's our sort of basic credo. It was established to help create job employments in certain parts, started out in South Africa, in certain parts of the country where there were high levels of unemployment, and land that had been set aside during the apartheid years that wasn't good for agriculture. Our founding members identified that land would be perfect for wildlife, for conservation. And so we fulfilled a dual role of conserving land, putting more land under wildlife, and conserving iconic species like the black rhino, but at the same time uplifting communities, local communities, giving them a chance, empowering them through conservation projects. It's been an amazing success story. We started off in South Africa, as I said. We operate now in 9 different African countries. We've managed to export our model as far afield as India, where we now have 4 lodges that are working along the same principles.
Now, one of the other things that I think differentiates And Beyond from a number of other companies is I was aware that you were in Africa and India. And because you've been very successful and you have grown your business, one sort of assumes that this is self-perpetuating, we must get bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. But you've actually not necessarily followed that particular credo either, have you?
Well, we had a look at it. I think back in 2008, it was a natural progression. We were approached, I think because we've got such a successful model, we frequently approached from operators all around the world. We'd identified South America as a great growth area that had a good future, and they had they were facing similar issues, which were a good fit for our conservation model. We had communities, land that was under threat, and high tourism potential. Unfortunately, we've decided to hold off on that now. We're focusing on our African operations. I think in these times it's mindful to rather focus on choosing the right properties and doing the right job, ensuring that the travellers are well looked after and they keep coming back.
Absolutely. Now, here we are at WTM. This is certainly your second year. You may have been here.
We've been here for a number of years now.
Longer than that. Yeah. But you've got a slightly bigger stand. You're in a lovely position here. It looks very busy.
Yeah.
Is this an important part of your marketing program for the year?
It has been very busy for us this year. We attend obviously a lot of trade shows. WTM obviously is the biggest trade show to attend. I was expecting, I think it is a little bit quieter maybe this year than past years, but the business has been very good this year. We've had a lot of new leads, and certainly gives us the confidence to keep coming back. I think it's a great show, and we'll be back to support it.
Excellent. Well, I wish you good fortune for the rest of the show and for the rest of the year, for that matter.
Hopefully, if it carries on like it has these first 2 days, we'll be in business for a long time still to come.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Nice to speak to you.
Cheers.